welcome to CosRail. Today my guest is Monica, who is also known as Not a Stupid Cat. So, how are you doing? Not a stupid cat.
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. So, I was looking around at your website and I see you describe yourself as a cosplayer and a photographer, is that right?
Yep.
Is there one you would say you're more of?
Not particularly. I like to try and even everything out. I love taking pictures, but I also like dressing up.
So when it comes to taking pictures, how long have you been doing that?
I've been taking pictures pretty much my whole life, ever since I was little and could figure out how to work a camera. And I've basically been using the same camera. It was only lately that I've upgraded to a Rebel XSI, which is a DLSR camera.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
What did you use previously?
I used a point and shoot. Oh, I think it's called an A610. It's a very good quality camera. We've had it for a long time, and the screen flips out, and it's pretty nice, but I just wanted to upgrade to something a little nicer.
It's not too bad. I remember when I kind of started out, I used an old Kodak Easy Share, and then I upgraded to something like one that used the A610, and then eventually got an XT. I'm using a Canon Rebel T2i. So just
very nice.
Probably down the road, maybe I'll get a 70. So when it comes to taking pictures, we've already talked about which camera that you use. Is there any special lenses or accessories that you try to use?
Right now I'm working with a very basic lens, just the starter lens. I'd like to get a 50mm.
Oh yeah.
But I'm a little tight on money because I prefer taking up-close shots. I don't want a zoom lens. I don't need anything real big. But like I said, it's just a little expensive right now, and I'm happy with the basic one for what I'm doing. It's nothing professional, so...
So you typically use Photoshop as far as editing your photos go?
I do. I try to do basic, realistic editing. Occasionally I'll do some, over-the-top, crazy stuff, but usually it's for sort of like Alice in Wonderland. For some of my Alice in Wonderland shots, I edited the lighting so it looked a little crazy and not realistic, but I like to keep it very subtle. I try to do basic editing, I smooth skin out, fix the lighting, but I try not to do anything too crazy unless I have to.
So I know you said you've been taking them for a while, but could you give us maybe an estimate as far as either in general or maybe when you start considering yourself someone as a photographer, how long do you think that's been?
Probably taking serious pictures for I'd say about 3 or 4 years now. About back when I started cosplaying was when I really started getting into photography. I always just liked taking snapshots, but I started sitting down and thinking, okay, planning out photos and thinking about how to fix them. And I got Photoshop 7 a while back too, and that was also when I started messing around with my photos and figuring out what I could do and post-processing and all that.
Is there any particular recent pictures you're really proud of that you've taken?
One of my favorites is on my DeviantArt. It's a picture of a piece of confetti from one of my second cousin's weddings, and I actually didn't use my camera on it. It was my grandmother's camera. I didn't bring mine because, I don't know, I wasn't thinking. And it's just a macro shot, and it's nothing really special, but the confetti was neat. It was a picture of a bride and a groom, and I held it up in front of the candle, and I thought, this is really cool looking, and I took a picture and I messed around with it a little bit, and I'm really particularly proud of it because it shows that you don't need a really high-quality camera just to take, interesting, fun, nice pictures. Oh, here it is. It's called Shall We Dance?
Definitely.
That was just point and shoot, Canon power shot, I think. The info's down in the corner. Yep.
Since you're both a cosplayer and a photographer, do you go to conventions and take photos?
I do. I usually take photos in costume, which isn't always the smartest idea. I tried. I had a photo shoot with actually my helmet on, and I was taking pictures through the visor, and some of them turned out pretty good, but eventually got frustrated and took it off. And it felt kind of funny, but there weren't too many people around, and my hair was a mess, but I'm willing to just, take stuff while in costume, because then I can just walk around when I'm not taking pictures and just have fun.
As far as being a cosplayer, can you tell me a little bit about when you started, any inspirations you had?
I'd say I started cosplaying Techo Shokan 2009. What had happened was I went to Techo Showcon the previous year. I went to 2008, and it was my first ever con, and I had a lot of fun, but I felt kind of out of place because I wasn't dressed up, and I'm quite the ham, so I wanted pictures taken of me, and I was like, this looks like fun, I want to be in a photo shoot. So later on, I was just on the internet, I was in an Oron chat room, and I met my friend on DeviantArt. Her name's Bat Bowtie, little dashes between each one, and we were talking about Oron, and that was one of my first big series, and she said she was cosplaying Kyoya for Techo 2009, and I got really excited, and I liked Haruhi a lot, so I figured I'd give it a try. It's a relatively easy costume. Techo Showcon 2009, my little Oron group, that was my first time ever cosplaying.
Is there any cosplays that are in the works right now? Or anything you have set down the road?
I have quite a few in the works. I'd say probably my main ones are I have Timber, one of the triplets from Black Butler 2, and I have Terezi from Homestuck in the works.
What was your last convention?
I think that was Techo Showcon. Again, Otakon will be my next one, but there's really not much in between it that I can go to.
So there's nothing other than those two that you plan on going to that are coming up?
I might go to Erie Anime Experience. It was the first place where I met a lot of my cosplay friends, and it's kind of like a yearly thing. So I might end up going to that. I think that's in like September or August, I'm not sure.
And what is it called again?
Erie Anime Experience.
That's funny. I think there's in Florida, where I'm from, there's two conventions that have experience sort of in the name. There's one that's, what is it? EXP Con, Anime X Gamer Experience, and then there's one con which is actually Florida Anime Experience.
Creative.
Yeah. What are some interests that you have outside of taking pictures and cosplay? What are some things that you like to do? You know, maybe any movies that you like, or music, video games?
I play the viola, and I kind of play the piano. I have a little trouble with that, but I like theater. I think that kind of goes hand in hand with my cosplaying. I really like dressing up and just being someone else and acting. It's really fun for me. And I sing. I've done a couple musicals, and those are pretty fun. As far as movies go, I'm not a huge movie watcher, but when I do go, I like to see like psychological thrillers, stuff like that, like Inception. I just recently watched Jacob's Ladder, kind of crazy things. I think the last movie I saw in theaters was Sucker Punch, and I didn't think I'd like it, but I went in with very low expectations and came out just amazed. I got dragged into it, but it was worth it.
Is there anything you'd like to say to anyone out there listening right now?
I'd say cosplay, don't take it too seriously. It's not a job, it's for fun. Just go to conventions, have fun. Don't be too crazy about it. It's just something to relax about, enjoy. And photography, you don't need fancy stuff to take nice, creative pictures. I've seen plenty of things taken with point and shoots that were just absolutely stunning. And just because you have a professional camera does not make you the best photographer in the world. It's just something to help you step your way up, I guess you could say.
Alright, well thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview. And that concludes this episode of CosRail.